So I like the fact that you flip left on the boost pad there, but I think if anything, you guys can see my drawing on screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think if anything, maybe you flip just a hair too late, and when you flip, that causes you to land like just before you get to the ball. I think if you flip right as your front wheels are over this boost pad, then you flip, then that'll let you go and land a little bit before you get to the ball. Then you can oftentimes jump and adjust to your teammate. Then you flip sideways, flip to the right or left on kickoff. Try not to front flip, because if you front flip, you're treating the kickoff and the 50-50 as if you can win and get it past an immovable object like your opponent, right?
Right.
Whereas it's a lot easier for you to push it in the direction that you want. So yeah.
Okay.
But overall, not a bad kickoff. You actually landed behind it. I just think you weren't quite able to get center on it enough. And yeah, that should have been a just a shot straight from the corner here. You should be jumping up at this, and so by the time it bounces down, you hit it like right here, and you hit the middle of the ball. This should just be like a front flip or a diagonal flip to the right, and that should just be straight in the net.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Like, yeah, you're basically straight on. That's about as easy as it gets, in my opinion. I think maybe just made it a little too complicated.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. To be honest, I actually kind of like your rotation here into net, but I like the fact that you go parallel in the goal line. Oftentimes I see a lot of people when they when they go back on defense, they oftentimes rotate in like this, and then they sit out right here. And what this happens is that if the ball rolls in, or if somebody is able to get a really powerful shot to the near post really quickly, then there's this distance right here, right? Where they can actually
Right.
slot it. So for you to make a save out from like even right here, you know, you're leaving all this space here in between you and the goal where they can slot it. So I like the fact that you're actually like on the goal line. It's actually also not a bad thing, especially if the play is a little bit slower, for you to actually rotate into net and go in like that. So yeah, the closer you are to the goal line, the better here, I think, because then it allows
Okay,
you to
sweet.
read the play. So that way, even if it does roll out, then it's just straight ahead of you. And if it bounces out, then you can just turn out and go center with it. So you kind of cover more bases that way. Whereas if you kind of sit out here, you're really limiting yourself to like if it bounces straight at you, right?
Okay. Then I believe what? That was an unlucky whip right here?
I don't think it was unlucky. I think you're trying to keep your momentum for way too long. If you notice, that guy's not actually on the ball. He's waiting for for something to happen here, and he's also kind of waiting for the bounce to happen as well. To be honest with you, I think you're maybe forcing this play or forcing this challenge a little too early here, because the faster you go at the ball, the less adjustments that you can make, right? Like the less you can go up
Right.
to meet it, the less you can go right or left, you know, to adjust for a different bounce. So the faster you go here, the less you can adjust, and that's exactly what happened. So
Okay.
I think if you
Okay.
just take your time just a little bit longer, you would have had a better read on this for sure. I actually like your challenge there, for what it's worth. Didn't seem like much, but oftentimes what I see at like lower ranks is people will just dive straight at it. Even though they jump, they keep like their wheels, their front wheels, like facing forwards. But what you did is you actually used the height of your car and you jumped and tilted back. So like if I give like a crude drawing, you know, you tilt backwards, right? So you're using more surface area to cover like the challenge, right? So you
I
actually
just
did
slow everything down and get my teammate ready to
yeah, so
adjust.
like even if he goes quick, you're actually covering more height here, which is really good. So
Right.
that didn't seem like much, but it actually you did pretty much what you should have here, I think, in my opinion. Get the pads, go behind your teammate. There you go. Good positioning. Again, like I said, going into net there is really good in case something happens. Okay, something to note here is that when you jump way back here, and you go up to meet the ball, you are committing to this play. The less likely you are to make adjustments now, especially with only 26 boost. So if you wait on the ground, I would recommend to wait and then jump right here, because then you can wait for the ball to get to you. Then you're more likely to get a shot, and even if you hit it on the left side of the field, you could actually shoot this. But because you jump, you're actually committing to your takeoff way back here before the ball even gets down to like you know, roughly anywhere where you actually want to hit it.
Right.
So yeah, now you're hitting it like here. In best case scenario, you know, you hit it down and then it, you know, it's not a very good hit. So if you just wait a little bit longer, you can actually place your car. You can place your shot a little bit better, and you can get a better shot on net. Again, it's the same idea as challenging in the corner there. You jumping and you committing to that play, you're just committing a little too quickly, I think.
Okay.
There you go. Like the power slide. Again, you're covering, not only covering like this near post in case the shot comes up straight above you, but you're also kind of facing and ready to go left side. So nice job there. To be honest with you, I would actually just chill in net here. I wouldn't even go on the wall because your teammate is still pushing into the corner. So you actually going on the wall, let me think about it this way. So like if the ball rolls up, what are the chances that, or what are the options that it can have, that the play can develop from here, right? It can go up and the guy hits it around the corner, right? Around.
Right.
It can go straight up and then kind of like out at you, you know, for like an air dribble, like out this way. He can kind of drop it like back down and fake it and go for a dribble. Like there's a couple different things that can happen, right? And if you sit here, you're covering both of these options, right? Option one, option two, if he goes straight at you or goes out midfield, right? Then, you know, option three, he hits it out across the field. That'd be option 1, 2, and 3. But if you go up on the wall, you're actually only covering for option 4. Then you're not really covering for anything else. Then you have to go back down to even cover 2 different options here, right? So just statistically, based on the option coverage, which like Luke calls it, is you're more likely to get a better hit on a play if you cover all 3 of these and wait for your teammate to push up. This is getting really complicated. If you wait for your teammate to go up the wall and cover a couple different options, then he limits, you know, option 4. Then, okay, he's more likely to bring it out center to you or out across the field, right? Then you can cover these other 2 options in the middle of the field. Let him eliminate a couple different options. But because you guys both go on the wall, you're kind of covering the same option.
That's definitely like what you see right here is definitely, I don't know why it's in my muscle memory, but I feel like I just move my card just to move it.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of people have the same problem actually about trying to stay supersonic. They think they have to stay really fast all the time, but the play isn't developing that fast, right? Like you're letting your teammates on the ball, like you know, there's a 50-50 that's about to happen. You don't need to be going 100 miles an hour like when the play, you know, doesn't call for it.
Okay.
Again, right here, this is the same exact thing. This should just be a front flip shot, air roll shot, even just with your left corner. And you should actually be hitting like this side of the ball and then just diagonal flipping right into this. This should be a goal, 100%.
Okay.
But because you're double jumping again, you're committing back here. It's the same problem that you had over in the corner over here where, yeah, you're just double jumping and you're going for like this little tap quickly forward. But you did just had an equally better shot just flipping into it, in my opinion.
Okay.
Good defensive. I like your positioning on there. You rotating near post, power sliding around. That was really good. Oof. Yeah, again, just jumping way too early. I think if you actually, you're jumping and like tilting and doing all this stuff. I mean, really, it's not that complicated. I like to jump and tilt your car backwards like you did earlier on the challenge back way over here. You know, jump and tilt back. You have to get up to the ball, right? The ball is not aiming down here. So I'm not sure what this little wiggle is, what's going on with your air roll, but like, look at how high up you are. You're trying to go for a double jump aerial and you're like a car length above the ground, right? So it doesn't need to be that complicated. And if anything, if you just go straight up and then you hit literally like the left side of this ball and then just drop it down, that's a goal.
Okay.
Right? Doesn't need to be that complicated with your little air roll twist. So hopefully that makes sense there.
Yep.
Like your positioning there. Really good. Yep. Nicely done. You're following it. There you go. Honestly, not bad. If anything, I'd say once you realize that he's there, you should just be flicking this. You saw him, or you should have seen him there. So yeah, you did fine here actually on this clear over your net. You're following it. You're keeping it really close, which is another really good thing. It'd be really easy for you to like go up for that aerial and then just clear it to your corner and not be able to follow it. So you actually did really well there. But yeah, just not quite quick enough on the follow up.
Just kind of get rid of it right there up the field.
Yep. Ooh. Again, I like you're kind of waiting to see if it's going to drop. You slow down. Matching the play speed is huge here, right? So he gets beat. You trust in your teammate, maybe going for a bump or something, seeing what's going to happen. Now you're facing the net in case this drops straight down. You're good. Then it goes left. You follow it. Really well done. Here, you should be using your camera because you have no idea if this guy is going to come in from the side, right? It's an information game. It's not that you always make bad decisions. In fact, most people don't make as bad decisions as you think. It's just that they don't have the information to make a good decision. So because you don't know what's going on over here, you don't know if somebody's going to challenge, you don't know where he's at. That's why you kind of force this play and you're just hitting it when you don't need to. When in fact, you can actually catch this ball, right? Like there's nobody here. Like you can use all this space, but instead you're just hitting it away.
That's crazy. I never use my right analog stick to move and turn like that. That makes so much sense.
Right. Oof. Okay. Perfect timing. So I'm going to talk about defensive positioning for a second here. So I'm going to go into like a hypothetical for just a second, and then I'll come back to this play. So you'll often hear me talk about defensive shadowing. So in this case, I'll talk about like when you should challenge. So say somebody's dribbling the ball at your net from the right side, right? And you are shadowing like this. The closer you get to going parallel with the play, the harder it is to save it. And actually, I'll exaggerate it by going down the middle here. So you think of there being a line between the ball and the goal. And as you get parallel with it, it gets significantly harder because not only are you going straight back, so making any adjustments left and right is super hard, but also because if they shoot top left or top right, your camera is actually inverted because you're looking backwards. So your left and right are reversed. Plus, in addition to the fact that not only if they shoot top corners or top of the net, then you have to double jump and go straight up and hopefully hit a save out off the top of your net, right? So that's just way significantly harder than it needs to be. So in general, you should always try to shadow. And the idea being that at any point you can challenge, quickly, along the dribble, right? This could be in the midfield. It could be wherever. I'm just kind of simplifying it for this drawing. But you can challenge early at any given point, or you go for a goal line save. But in this case, you're only challenging and you're going from left or from right to left in this scenario. You're pushing it across field. Because again, we're treating it similarly to the kickoff. You should never challenge, or I should say not never, but you should try not to challenge and do a challenge straight like this and treat it like a 50-50 because they're going to be going at it forwards as well. They are an immovable object just as much as you are. So if they have the momentum going towards your net, well, guess what? How do you think you're just all of a sudden going to be able to just dominate whatever momentum he has, right? Again, treating it like a kickoff. So you try to redirect it to your back corner. Then you can grab your boost. Then you go out and make a play. Then that's how you get a clean possession play, right? So
sweet.
So that's where like the shadowing and the defense comes in, where if you sweep wide and you make a save, then that's where you actually get a hand and an advantage because then now they're going into your net and you save it across field again, where you grab your boost. Now you got a clean possession play, and now you can 1v1 or 1v2 or 2v1. Right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Any questions on that?
Nope, other than just don't go parallel and end up
Obviously,
on the goal line.
Especially in ones, there are times, even in twos, where you just have to, right? You don't have enough time. And that's one of the scenarios, actually, I forgot to mention. So say this is way far back, right? If you'll know you can actually fake challenge. So say somebody is like behind midfield line and you want to, obviously you don't want to just kind of sit on the same side of the field and let the ball come to you, right? So you want to kind of fake challenge. You'll know that you have enough time if you can fake challenge, then cross this line and go back around center the other way. And again, the idea being that in both scenarios, you're going parallel with the goal line and the net is in front of you the whole time. It just eliminates all this background processing that you didn't even know that you had going on in your brain, right? Then the whole net is in front of you. All you need to do is just keep driving forwards and time your challenge or your save.
So now, what is that left arrow?
Oh, sure. So
what was that one for?
So this would be like, so if say they were coming in like this, right, from like way back here, if you're challenging like on the left side or coming in like this, say you wanted to fake challenge and actually force a play, you'll know that this is actually still a decent play. Like how many times does this happen where somebody's dribbling and they're going slow? So you kind of go up and then you cross back and then they flick it from here, right, into your net. Then
so going across
wide. Yep, you go again wide, but on this side of the field.
Okay, so that
So
answers
that,
it. So,
yep, that
because
would
I
be a
was
fake
about to
challenge.
say,
Yep.
once I make that path in front of them, I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, well, they're gonna flick that, and you
Yep.
said that's basically
That's
just
where you
gonna be a
turn
fake
around.
challenge.
Again, you go wide and you go parallel with the net from the other side. Yep. So
Okay.
you'll know you did a bad challenge if you go for a fake challenge and you turn around and then they score it on you, because that means that you should not have fake challenge there. They just were able to flick it over you, right? You didn't have, that
Right.
means that you didn't have enough time to do that. So in that scenario, that's where you just literally have to be wait and be patient and challenge and position in the net parallel to it that way. So that way the whole net is in front of you like
Okay.
that. And then again, if he's coming at you from the left side here, then okay, then you have to kind of gauge, as best you can. Okay, he's got it on top of his car. How likely is he to go across the net and then behind me? So then it's just challenge. It's just timing your driving forward and your challenge, right? Then
Right.
it's just okay. Do I go? How fast do I go forwards? Right? It's just those two variables. Whereas if you fake challenge and then he flicks over you, there's so many other things that can go wrong. If you fake challenge and then he flicks it over you, then it's like, oh, well, that was a goal. It's like doesn't need to be that complicated. Um,
Right.
so so yeah. All right, let's talk about this play now. Again, where you didn't have to have time to fake challenge, right? That's exactly what I
Right.
just mentioned.
So then I should have just stayed on the left
Honestly, if you're pushing
more.
up on this, you should either one be jumping now and going up for this aerial and trying to just beat it over him. That'd be option one, is just going quick. Option two is if you think he's jumping and going for a save or a hit over you, then you have to go and again you have to actually air roll and point your car towards this wall here, right? And you have to air roll and cover like wide this way. Make your car as big as possible, like my little poor drawing of an octane, right? There it goes. Make it flat and like big. So air roll left. So you use your car as like a plank, like a brick wall, right?
Okay.
That way you go for a save that way. That's option two. Option one being going quick. Option three being that, yeah, okay, obviously you have enough time and then you have to jump up and go for it because, dude, you fake challenge. He's obviously sitting here. You should be expecting him to go for something at some point. So if you don't go, he's going to hit it. And then that's exactly what happens. You don't have enough time to go back. And even when you do, you're still not expecting him to hit it. It's like you just kind of froze.
Yeah,
So
I did. I saw that.
it was just bad all around. I think if anything, if you rotate out back, he may then catch it and try to dribble it on you, right? So that might be a bad option. So I honestly think just jumping here and committing now is a better option because then okay, can I get it? Can I beat him? That's number one. But then if you can't, you try to go wide and block and go as big as possible, right? And get a dunk over him, right? And then give your teammate time to drop back and then time for you to recover and go back as well. So I think that's
Okay,
probably
sweet.
those are the best two options. Does that make sense from this situation?
Yeah, and I honestly, I probably would have went with option one because it looks like, I mean, I'm just
Yeah, he
going
was
straight.
sitting on the ground, so I agree. Actually, I think you had enough.
Yeah.
You especially so because you had enough boost. So yep, I agree. I like that you're patient here, but in general, you should be positioned behind your teammate. I know you were kind of positioning, you're kind of creeping up as if it was going to be a pass out, out to you, but that is a really dangerous play to make because again, you don't know where that other second guy is, and any type of passing play is committing, between you two, right? Trying to get a shot off. You're
Right.
committing two guys just to make one play happen. Which is just bad in general in twos, unless it's a non-committal play where you can just say he can just roll it to you, right? Then you get another clean possession play going forward. Then that's maybe not necessarily a bad pass, but a pass where you're committing both guys flipping into it, that would be considered a bad pass. So obviously, I think you guys should be calming this. First thing would be like, hey, I'm center, pass it to me. Then he knows that he can go quick and get it centered to you. Then okay, I'm committing to this. Then there's no miscommunication there. There's no like hesitancy there about your positioning because now you guys are kind of stacked almost like left and right. You're a little bit behind him, but now as Dragon comes up, you guys are way too close to each other that he's able to kind of just almost get it over you, and he ends up just handing it like right to you, fortunately. But if you see how you can see how dangerous this is, like as he's about to go, the whole net is actually like behind you, bro. So
Right.
You guys are kind of actually stacked on top of each other, and you guys don't even know it. And that's all because you kind of turned around and you're wanting to kind of stick around for like some kind of passing play or something to happen midfield. Whereas you should just be treating this as a 1v1, let your teammate make a play, and then play behind him and see what happens there. Because then again, we talk about the option coverage. Say it gets killed out midfield, then you just go for it, right? That's option 1. Say it gets killed to the corner or the wall, then you just go. That's option 2, right? Again, it gets cleared out across this way. Then if their second guy gets it, then you're back and you're ready to either fake challenge and go back, or you're back already behind where you can just rotate out on defense, right? That'd be like option 3. So statistically, you're more likely to cover something from behind than you are from sideways, right? So
Okay.
So yeah, being so lateral to your teammate is just dangerous. I think maybe you're rushing this too. Again, the problem is you haven't had enough info to work off of. We have not seen the second man for like 5 or 10 seconds now. So you don't know what's going on behind you. So again, you're rushing this and you're just trying to clear it, trying not to get demoed. Maybe the guy is over here challenging. You have no idea, right? It sounds like maybe I heard him.
Can you change the angle and let's find out where he's at?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and he's actually over there for some reason. But they are behind you. But again, you didn't know that. It sounded like I could hear him. But again, because you don't know that, you're rushing this for so long. For no reason. It's that information game. It's not that you make bad decisions all the time. You actually make pretty decent decisions so far. Like I said, your positioning and your rotation to the net have been pretty solid. But the times when you have possession, especially now, this is like the 3rd time in this like quadrant of the field where you've just kind of hit the ball. Once down the field, like, you know, here, once over here, right? So like there are all these times where you just, because you don't know where they are, you're just hitting the ball for no reason. Like, you don't need to use all this space. You could just clear it up and dribble it, and with the 70 boosts that you had, you probably could have just driven this straight into the net. So yeah. That's all I'll say about that. I actually like your double jump there, to be honest with you. If anything, I'd say maybe go for a pinch. At this point, I don't mind the catch, actually.
Pinch off the ceiling?
It's a bit iffy, right? Because there's not a whole lot that comes from that play. But I think I'd say even a pinch, or if you're reacting to this a little faster, I think since your nose is already pointed down, you can actually try to drive down to the ground and actually get a catch here, then keep going with the play. Because there's so much distance here, I think you maybe had an opportunity to catch the ball on the ground. I think that's probably the best thing. Your other option is, I meant to go for a pinch, like on the top of the ball, and try to pinch it into the net. That's another option. I think those are the two best options here. Yeah, you kind of did neither of them, if I'm being honest. You kind of hit the middle of the ball. And again, you're trying to stay with the play, but now, dude, you got 20 boost and you have to know your beat at this point. Like, you're trying to stay with it way too much now. Like, you committed way too hard from your backside. You wasted a lot of boost. You just kind of cut your losses and drop back. Like, they're not in there. You're basically almost into their net. So this is not a very dangerous position. So just drive back, let them hit the ball sometimes, and just drop back to be back quicker for your teammate.
Okay.
Oh, man. Okay, I like the demo, but look at this. From now on, from 253, you have no idea what's going on with this play. You're better off just waiting to see what happens, because now for the last 2 or 3 seconds, you have no idea, and your teammate made a save, I bet. Right? I actually have to change my camera because we have no idea what happened here. Yeah, they basically went almost to your net and applied so much pressure, and you're taking your eye off the ball at the worst time. Like, imagine if your
I'm just going for demos.
Yeah, imagine if your teammate got bumped or something like that, and it just goes in front of your net, right? You got to be back, man.
Right.
Like, that's your first priority, is to not get scored on. And you're sitting here going for demos. That was actually a better one, I'll say that, because now you're applying pressure on their side. But does that make sense? Like, you're going for demo on your side, but you're losing track of where the play is going. You don't have control of where the play is going. So, yeah, just a bad time. Okay, let me back up. I like the fake. That was really well done. Obviously, statistically, anything from this side, like in their corner, you hear from Randy talk about in the 1v1 masterclass, is that the angle that you can actually get a nice hit on, especially if they're coming in for a 50-50 from this angle, is really small. So I like your fake challenge. That was really well done. I don't know why you're backed up there. I'm being very nitpicky in this, but okay, you're in a good spot. It's on the left side. Keep driving up. Then at that point, you just saw your teammate out here, right out center. So
Right.
at that point, you should be driving up, then seeing if you can just either chip it out with a single jump or a flip out, out as a pass to your teammate.
Okay.
You backing up here, like you're giving space and allowing the other guy to get behind the ball again when you should just be continuing to push up and apply pressure. It's just it's very nitpicky because you only hesitated for half a second, but that's the difference now that you allowed that guy to get back in time.
Right, right. And stuff like that's really crucial.
Yeah,
I think
and
I'm sitting at champ 2 right now.
Okay. And I think it just compounds. You're trying to stay in the play too much. Like again, you should be dropping back now. Like your teammate is trying to make a play. You basically just handed them the ball. Like look at this. And you guys didn't get scored on. I can cheat it because I can see on the timeline here. But dude, you guys should have gotten scored on right now. They should just be able to drive this straight into your net.
Right.
You basically handed it to them. But you guys don't get punished for it, and you don't see the mistake there. Again, going for a demo.
It's not funny. It is. All right, here we go.
Okay, so your teammate jumps, so now at this point he's guarding the high shot. So again, you did it really well earlier. Remember when they were taking a 50-50 above your net and you kind of stopped and waited to see what's going to happen? You should be doing the same exact thing here. You have no idea what's going to happen to this play. So why are you rushing this, my guy? You have 100 boost. Wait for it. Like, wait for him to go past the ball. You don't need to be clearing it. Like, imagine, so say you did get a hit here. The other guy is back already. He's facing his net. What do you think? You're just magically going to get a shot on net that he can't save, especially with 100 boost? That's not happening.
So just be more aware of just where everybody's at again.
Yeah, well, just being patient, honestly. That's all.
Patient, yeah.
Just be patient. Again, you don't know what's going to happen to this play. You being really patient here, your teammate goods for it, and then you see that they missed. It's like, okay, yeah, nice. But you can actually afford to just sit back and wait for the bounce. You're forcing the play way too much here.
Okay.
I think. Ooh, yeah, okay, so I think that's probably just a symptom of you trying to drop back. See? Now, again, you're not dropping back. You're not back post. There's that. See what I meant about how you push him out so far net in front of the net? This small difference between the wall and the net and you is actually all the difference in the world, because now the second it goes here, it's awkward as fuck. You got to back up or try to get behind it in time, right? So had you just rotated back, even literally sitting right here would have been way better, right? It's that little difference. It's only a couple car lengths, really. Even if you were sitting like right here, that would have been better.
Yeah.
But that's what I meant earlier about trying to rotate on the goal line, because it's that important. Okay. You're awkward, but at this point, you should be saying, all right, fuck the play. I'm trusting my teammate for just a second. You have two options. Either just turn around or half flip, one of the two. Tell your teammate to go across or go out, right? He's going to try to get it out of the backboard as much as possible. But you literally have to just be like, all right, I'm going to unfuck myself for literally a half flip takes half a second. Turning around to maybe take one. In the time that you do that, he's still going to have the ball in the air. So you staying with this play and backflipping is the worst possible thing you could do, because now you're so screwed up. You have no momentum and you're super awkward. And now again, you're still backwards to the play. So it's just, you see how these mistakes, since you're not taking the time, just the 1 second to like unfuck yourself, you're staying messed up here. So there you go. Now that you turned around, there you go. Now you're center for the play. Okay. Again, I know you want to go for the goal, but they are about to hit this. So again, they are about to hit the ball, and you're going in for a challenge as if they're not going to do anything about this. You should be waiting to see if they're going to hit it. If this guy like hits it out and hits the post right out center or whatever, or more likely just clears it across, then you have to turn around and be the next guy on the ball. But you going here, especially now because your teammate is literally on their goal line, like now as you challenge, you guys are again going to be like stacked on top of each other really close. So it's just a bit of an iffy challenge there. again, there's that double jump, man.
I know, I do it so much.
And look at how flat-footed you are. Dude, you double jump, but dude, you're not high whatsoever. You need to be jumping and tilting your car straight up. Cover more height. I complimented you on it once when you had a good challenge back on your side over on the left side there, but man, yeah, that's you're really looking flat-footed here. Like, you're not really covering as much ground as you think. All that guy needed to do was just jump and tilt his car back, and he's already over you, right?
Right.
So, yeah, we'll talk about that at the end for sure. Oh my god. All right. That sucks. All right, let's talk about this. I want to see this. Ooh, again. Okay, so the air roll shots. This should be waiting. Let the ball bounce off the wall, come in between like you and the goal a little bit, tilt down to the right, air roll to the right, then use your left tire again, hitting the right side of the ball, and this should be a shot on net even without hitting the ground. This should be this should be like over here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's we'll cover that at the end, but oof. Honestly, for what it's worth, that's not also maybe not the worst shot in the world. Like, you're applying pressure, it's above the net, right? It's hard to read for Dragon. I don't know why he stopped going. Maybe he thought it was in, but yeah, then just mechanical mistake there. But that should have been a goal in the first place. Oof. Yeah, I think it's obviously unfortunate positioning, but this guy is accelerating the play out here, right? Out towards your middle of the field. It's hard for me to draw. But he's boosting this whole time, right? So he's actually accelerating the play out midfield, and you're just sitting here standing still. So by the time now that you go around and turn around, you're already too late. And
yeah.
They probably score off of it because of that, even if not directly, maybe indirectly. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, he had the goal for sure. Alright, you guys are reset. You're in a good spot. Like how you're going behind your teammate. Woo! Dunked on. Alright, let's see what you could... I don't know if necessarily there's a whole lot that you could have done. At some point, there is like a point where like this is just bad from him getting dunked that hard. There's only so much you can do.
Right.
Let's see. The problem, though, is that he's taking the ball too far at your opponents, right? You can barely see the one guy on the left, let alone the guy challenging you on the right side now, right? So, yeah. It's the same problem that you had earlier when you had the hit over your corner and then you weren't able to capitalize going forwards because you're not able to see the guy going behind for a challenge at it. So that's where Randy talks about using the space that you have. So as the dribble comes this way, you should be using your camera either to look on top of it or bring the play across field, right? Then that way your camera is kind of looking like around the ball, if anything, right? So
right.
That's where driving at them is the worst possible thing, because yeah, you can't see when they challenge, and that's what happens.
Now, when you're dribbling and the ball's like that and it's just being obnoxious on your screen, do you ever take your analog stick to make it where you can look above the ball?
Yes, I will literally tilt my right stick up to look down on top of the ball over them. If anything, at this point, I wouldn't even take that much time, to be honest with you, because I know that this guy's kind of facing the play. So if anything, I'd be power sliding and trying to take the play around him this way.
Okay.
Another option is just to drop it and take a 50-50. That's something that I don't do enough of, and it's maybe something I don't mention enough of either, but something I just thought of. You could just drop it and take a 50-50 when you don't know what's going to happen. You know, that's a pretty safe bet as well, especially considering both of you guys had a good position and boost. So that's probably maybe the safest play, if anything. Because even if you do take it across field, there's a chance that he can still dunk you or go for a challenge. So that's maybe still inherently a little risky. But yeah, if anything, I'd say, or honestly, just commit to like an air dribble. Go over him quickly. Especially with 73 boost, even if you don't score off of it, you're going to be deep into their side, right? So you got a couple options, honestly. But never quite had total control. I think you'd have to just go for it. Just double jump and, you know, even if they dunk you, then it goes high and not straight into your net. man, look at, you're jumping way far back here. I don't know what else you're expecting, but man, you got to get underneath the ball, right? You got to be driving like this. You have to literally be driving like this where I'm drawing, because then you let the ball drop right here. Then that's where you can actually go up and get a more in line with the goal. Then that's more of a straight shot like this.
Okay.
But because you jump, every jump is a commit to a play. So anytime you jump, like way back here, man, you can't change your course that much. So now, best case scenario, you hit this into the corner and it goes, you know, around center. Right? But you're not really doing anything here. Man, yeah, you guys drew the freaking lottery. You guys got all 7s on that because, look, that guy committed to a play when you were about to hit the ball, which is the worst thing that he could have done. Because there's no way you're scoring that. And had he just sat back in net, all he has to do is wait for the bounce off his side. Then he can drive out and go for a clear.
Yeah.
So you guys literally drew the lottery on him making a bad decision here. And that guy also bumped you, which may have slowed him down. But yeah, right there. Oof. Yeah, you guys drew the lottery on that play and you didn't get punished for it. But yeah, you jumping back that early was not a good look. Okay, I don't mind you committing that early, actually. Your teammate is now dropping back, so even if he beats you, beats this over you, your teammate will be back. And actually, you jumping this early forces him to go up as well, so this is actually a good spot to apply pressure because there's a threat of a goal. So this is a part where you're actually... Notice the difference now also is you're meeting the height of the ball here. That's why it's also threatening. So
right.
this is a challenge that I don't mind you going for. There you go. And if anything, maybe try to just hit it with the front of your car. Again, you had really good alignment. Look at this. Just stay right here. Hit it with the front right of your car, the front right corner. But because you hit it with the side, you didn't like tilt into it. You didn't like turn into the ball whatsoever. So you're hitting it with the side, and it just killed whatever shot potential that you had. There you go. Good drop back. Oh, man. Again, with this double jump, dude, you're not doing anything with this. You've literally done 0 good plays with this so far, so I don't know why you keep doing it. I actually kind of understand from this perspective, and if anything, I'd say maybe just flip and try to just go for a shot here, because, yeah, if you can just get a half volley and you can just, like, front flip into this right now, this could be a shot or a goal.
Right.
That would be, I would understand if you just clear the fuck out of it. That'd be much better than you doing this, what you're doing now. Because, dude, you're double jumping it, and look at how far away the ball is. You're not a threat whatsoever to this guy. All he's got to do is kill it to his corner, and look, they've got clean possession. Now, imagine if that pinch went backwards. Now you guys are both screwed because because you committed to that play earlier. So it's just, yeah, it's just not a good look, man. And you've done that same exact double jump play like so many times now and have gotten 0 goals out of it. I should say even 0 good plays out of it. There you go. Good demo. Good timing. There you go. Good. Challenge wasn't the best, but there you go. Trying to catch it. Okay. Actually, you did pretty decent up until you're hard committing. So you're at a good spot. This would be a perfect time to fake challenge where you jump up and again, you try to make your opponent think you're going for it, right? Going for like some kind of air dribble. That's when you air roll back around, you hold back on your stick and you kind of like rotate back around, and fake it and try to go for another catch.
Okay.
Because look, he's already turning around.
He's gone. Yeah, he's fucking gone.
But you're hard committing to this, and you're not really doing anything. And worse, you do a half flip to their side, bro. You just lost the ball. Look at your teammate lost the ball. Look at this. You're like, all right, peace out. See you later. And they just hit the ball past to your teammate, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna be on vacation here on the beach. I'll see you later. So, yeah.
I don't know what I didn't know if he was going to send it up. I don't know what I was doing there.
Yeah. So the problem though is that you're already, again, you're going towards their corner as if you think your teammate already has it.
Right.
Like cherry picking, especially when you guys are down, you can't afford to be doing that those high risky plays like that. You just can't. You just got to drop back. You have to. Even if your teammate hits it forward, what do you think the chances are that you're going to get a redirect into net? Like how many times does that happen?
1 to none.
Right. So Yeah. Oh man, good outplay, and a decent pass back. Oh man, again jumping into the play so early. It's the
So
common
what's
theme
your
so far.
thoughts right there? So like,
Yep.
if I
So
sat on their goal line, I would get so many goals, but like you just can't sit on their goal line all the time, obviously. So
sure. Yeah, honestly, you should just be continuing to drive up. If he catches this ball and starts driving out midfield, then you go for a 50-50, right? But you driving up is actually applying more pressure than you think, and that's why he hits this out this way. But because you jump right here, you're thinking you can get a dunk on him. But man, that's not going to happen. The chances of that happening are so low, and you're so desperate for a goal. So I see why you make the bad decision here. But man, yeah, you just have to go like this and force uh, fake challenge and force him to get rid of the ball. Then that way, if you don't commit, you have probably more boost than he does. So at that point, you can turn around, get behind the ball, go around on the wall and make another play back out. Maybe you can pass it back center for your teammate who's also rotating out, right? You make another play happen instead of going for this like 5% chance that you dunk him and it goes in the net.
right.
Yeah, because now he got rid of the ball, man. Look at Hoff had 0 there. Imagine had you just kept driving back, you would have this ball right now and
Right.
you'd be able to take it up. That'd be a much higher percent of chance that you'd be able to get something better out of that than committing now. Now you guys are back on top of each other and they score. And that's all because you pushed up earlier. You weren't able to get back. So let me see. I want to see like kind of what happened with this now. Yeah, really well done. Nothing complicated. He just hit it and followed it. I kind of want to watch this from your teammate's perspective. Okay, grab the mid boost. That's fine. Yeah, you have to be jumping up, but oh yeah, just not fast enough.
Unlucky adjustments.
If anything, be jumping up and just aiming straight at the play right away. I think the little like air roll twirl was actually still too slow. There's not enough time to even like jump up and turn for the air roll. You literally just have to jump and point your stick up, jump, tilt back, and go this way. Yeah.
Oh, should I have
even
went
then,
back post there?
and even then, this might not be good enough, just because they basically have all the advantage in the world. No, there's nothing you can do here. Your teammate is committing to the save, and you basically you have
Right.
screwed yourself so bad. There's nothing you can do. You have 0 boost, and you're behind them. Your teammate just grabbed the mid boost. You have 0 boost. There's literally nothing you can do there. Sorry to tell you,
Right.
right? It's because you wasted it on the play earlier when you committed to that like 5% chance on the goal in the middle. So, yeah, sorry. There's there's nothing. There's no like miracle like thing I can say like that you should have done here, because yeah, you guys just got dusted. Okay. Any questions on anything that I said? Does anything I say not make sense or anything? Any questions?
Did that replay end because we forfeited?
Probably, yeah. 26 seconds left, yeah. I
No,
don't blame
dude.
you.
That was really good.
Okay.
Definitely jumping early and
Yep. I think so yeah, if I can summarize it, I think the worst thing that you guys did, obviously your positioning and your defense was pretty solid. Your worst thing was just jumping at the ball way too early, because you were just hitting it like this all the time, if you even did hit the ball, right? So one of the things that I actually prescribe to a lot of people, especially hopefully you have Buckets mod where you can, spawn the ball in your car.
yeah.
But I also use this, I use down on my stick, and that'll pop the ball up. And then I actually use this as like my pre-warm-up before the GCR training regimen. So this is like my warm-up before the warm-up. Dude, that is so much better of a shot than anything I saw in that
crazy,
game
dude.
whatsoever, right? And all I'm doing here, and like I said earlier about the air roll shots, right? So once I even if it's a straight shot like this, I'm still going to air roll. I'm still going to hit it with the corner. And again, even as I line up my shot, I air roll slightly down and to the right. I use my left corner as my guide. So now I'm shooting diagonally. Then I use my front left diagonal flip, and that's where I get the power. And again, the main thing why I said you're jumping too early here is because now if I wait and I go up at the right time, I'm able to hit the underside of the ball, and that's how I get so much power, right? Whereas since you were jumping so early, you're kind of hitting on the top or the middle part of the ball, which is shooting it down. So that's why I say you should wait longer to go up for it. Then you can hit the middle of the ball or the middle underside, and that's how you keep the height on it, and that's so much more of a deadly shot than anything I saw in that game. See, I'm hitting the middle underside, and even then it was still maybe a little bit too far on the top. But you can see like that like I can actually place the shot on the left side.
Right.
Like it's so much more powerful and so much better than anything I saw in that game. And I'm not doing anything complicated. It's just a little bit of air roll and a diagonal flip. But again, the hard part, it may not be complicated, but the hard part is actually matching the ball height, right? So if I'm just sitting here and I blast it like I just did and I go too far underneath the ball, then that's too high. But the common one is to just go on top of the ball and then you're just hitting it to them on the ground, right? So that's where matching the ball height is really important. Oh man, almost got a crossbar down. So honestly, this is what I do for like 5 minutes every day. And you can see even sometimes I hold my jump, get my adjustment, and that's a top banger shot right there.
Yeah, those are so much better. It looks so clean too.
Thank you. But I do this for 5 minutes every day when I first get on. Yeah, that was nice. So honestly, that's pretty much as simple as it gets, I think. I actually prefer to do this over Coco's training because I find that this is more translatable in game. You know, I find that with Coco's training, since they're like flat walls and stuff like that, you can't really gauge the distance as well. So, you know, that's where I prefer to go to the side, you know. And even then, when I'm a little awkward, I can get underneath the ball and with a little diagonal flip, even in a pretty, you know, not a great scenario, I can still get a pretty decent shot on. And it all comes from just doing this over and over and over again.
That's crazy how consistent you are at those.
Right. So, yeah, I could do that. I could do this all day. I literally do this for like in free play. This is what I do when I'm sitting in free play between matches and what I do every day for 5 minutes before I go into anything. So honestly,
Breezy
that's
flick on the spot right now.
Breezy flick. Oh god, that's
on the spot right here.
My worst mechanic. Okay, never mind.
No.
Okay. This
No
man.
shot.
All right, I don't want to hear your shit. I don't want to hear your challenges ever again. I got my one chance. I got it.
Oh,
all right.
shit.
I don't want to hear anybody question me ever again.